whole. Do you know it? I guess not.
I know it.
All right now. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Chris, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful meditation and prayer. My little tummy was just so happy to get some acknowledgement. Yeah, like for real, y'all. We have, some situation going on. And it was just nice to shower it with love and to incorporate it back into the wholeness of who I am. So that was the invitation and the opportunity that your meditation provided to each and every one of us, if we took advantage of it, right? If you just sat there and was saying, la, 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 what do I have to do today? You might have missed it. You might have missed it. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Martha. And thank you again, everyone, for being with us today for our Sunday celebration service. Let's take a breath. It's all about the allowing, that first song that Rhonda sung, right? Are we willing to allow the wholeness that we are to be? To just let it be. So we are in our last month of 2023, y'all. Can y'all believe it?
No.
Talk about denial. I'm in a little bit of denial about 2023 coming to an end. It just went by so fast. And I know time is doing something, because I remember when I was a kid, it would take so long for a year to go by, right? Because the year ending meant what? Christmas.
Yeah.
It was taking so long, right? And I hear my girls saying, it went by so fast.
Oh, wow.
It's gone by so fast. So I know something is happening with time. It is definitely speeding up. So I'm glad that we get to end our 2023 with the theme, Living as Wholeness. Because that is a wonderful way to welcome in 2024 with the reclaiming of our wholeness. Yes? So our message today is embracing wholeness. And you all know by now how I like to start these themes off. I think it's important for us to understand the vibration of words. So embracing means to avail oneself of, to receive gladly or eagerly, to accept willingly. And the origins of embrace, I so love this. And I loved when Chris said to give yourself a hug, because the origins of the word embrace means pair of arms. Pair of arms. Yeah. And we know that wholeness, I think we all know what wholeness is, the state or condition of not being broken, injured, or damaged, intact condition. And we're probably most familiar with the saying that we often say in New Thought, that there is a place within us that has not been hurt, harmed, or endangered. Yes. And that is a place of wholeness. So the word wholeness is made up of two words, whole and ness. So the origins of the word wholeness, the origins of the word whole means heal. Okay, that's not a surprise, right? Heal. And we know that ness in this context is a suffix, which is denoting a quality or a state. Yeah? So wholeness is a state of healing. Wholeness is a state of healing. So we can say that embracing wholeness is to avail ourselves to a state of healing. Are you available for healing? Or are you somewhere else? Are you availing yourself to healing? And we can visualize that with a pair of loving arms around us, right? Our own arms and other people's arms around us. I love hugs. And I love people who really get into the hug, right? Because you could just exhale, right? You can exhale into that vibration of love that is surrounding you. So let's think about that the next time we give someone a hug. It might be the only opportunity that they may have experienced of feeling the wholeness of love surrounding them. So that's the feeling tone that we're looking to embody for December. A pair of arms around us. The wholeness around us, surrounding us. Because the wholeness is where? The wholeness is within us. Within each and every one of us. So if you saw our newsletter for this week, I added a little shout out to our practitioners, Jan and Chris, inviting everyone to reach out to them for a practitioner session because they know wholeness. They know the wholeness that is within you already. And so today I want to talk about another master practitioner and teacher that you might have heard of. His name is Jesus. I call him Brother Jesus. Sometimes I say bro, you know, we like that. And Jesus was a master at applying the law of wholeness to everyone. Everyone. So one of the things that I enjoy about the Bible are the stories. And Jesus taught a lot through parables, right? So there's a parable of the paralyzed man by the pool. Are you familiar with that one? Oh, no? So let me tell y'all what happened. So I'm reading from St. John chapter 5, verses 2 through 14. So this is the parable of the paralyzed man by the pool. Now there was at Jerusalem a baptismal pool, which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 entrances. At these entrances, a great many sick people are lying, the blind, the lame, and the crippled. And they were waiting for the water to be stirred up. For an angel of God went down at a certain time to the baptismal pool and stirred up the water. And whoever went in first after the stirring of the water was healed of their disease. A man was there who had been sick for 38 years. In some other versions of the Bible, it says that he's been paralyzed for 38 years. Jesus saw this man lying down, and he knew that he had been waiting for a long time. So Jesus said to him, "Do you wish to be healed?" The sick man answered, saying, "Yes, my Lord, but I have no man when the water is stirred up to put me in the baptismal pool, but while I am coming, another one goes in before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your quilt and walk." And the man was healed immediately, and he got up and took up his quilt and walked. And that day was the Sabbath. So the Jews said to him who was healed, "It is the Sabbath. It is not lawful for you to carry your quilt." He answered, saying to them, "He who healed me told me, 'Take up your quilt and walk.'" And they asked him, "Who is this man who said to you, 'Take up your quilt and walk'?" But he who was healed did not know who he was, for Jesus was pressed by a large crowd which was at that place. After a while, Jesus found him again, this time in the temple, and said to him, "Behold, you are healed. Do not sin again, for something worse might happen to you than at first." So, does that sound familiar now? No, some yes, some no. Okay, all right. So I want to highlight a couple of things. This man had been sick, paralyzed for 38 years. He had been at that baptismal pool for 38 years. Once a year, the angel would descend from the heavens and stir up the water. And whoever got in the pool first got healed. No one else. So if you were second, third, fifth, no healing for you, right? No healing for you. So because this man was paralyzed and he had no one to help him get to the pool, he couldn't get in the pool. And he believed that he couldn't be healed because of that. So here comes Jesus saying to him, this is Red Melissa's version, "What's up? It looked like you've been here for a minute. What's going on? Do you want to be healed or what?" And the man said, "Yes, I want to be healed, but, yes, I want to be healed, but," and then he went through his story. What had happened was nobody was here to help me. I have no man to help me get into the pool. And then others go in before me. And he just but all over the place. Now, I know no one in here does that. Right? Never. We decide what our life is going to be and we go do it. But what had happened was what she did to me. Don't you know? Oh, let me tell you the story. What happened when I was 5. Let me tell you the story of what had happened to someone else that somehow is now my story that I get to share. We butt all over ourselves. When the answer, yes, is a complete sentence. No buts. That man had a quilt. Jesus told him to carry your quilt and walk. We all got quilts that we're carrying around, right? We all got our stories. We all got the things that we feel are holding us back, keeping us paralyzed, keeping us stuck. This man was stuck for 38 years, y'all. And some of us are also. But we don't have to be. We don't have to be stuck. We can allow the healing in now, right, Rhonda? We could pick up our quilt and we could walk with it. Now, Jesus didn't say, leave that quilt there. He didn't say that. He said, carry whatever it is that you have, carry it with you, because we're going to incorporate it into the healing. Those shadow aspects of ourselves, those parts of ourselves that we don't like, those differences, Chris, right? Those things that makes us different. Don't leave it. Carry it with you. Because it's all part of the healing. It's all part of the healing. So we leave no aspects of ourselves behind. Because the aspects of ourselves that we leave behind are the aspects of ourselves that need the healing. So we carry it into the wholeness. We wrap our arms around it. And we say, I see you. I know you. I love you. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And we say it over and over and over again. Because if we've been paralyzed for 38 years, we may need to hear it more than once. We may need to love on ourselves maybe more than once. Right? If we could tell our stories, I'm sorry, y'all. If we could tell our stories 100 times, then we could love on ourselves more than once. We could forgive ourselves more than once. Yes? So no more excuses. No more buts. No more buts. We have everything that we need because we are already whole. We are already whole. So let's look at the excuses that we are making for not living in the wholeness of who we are. And let's just declare those excuses as stories. And let's declare them complete. And let's declare and write a new story. A story that is centered in the wholeness of who we are. So I want to point out another thing that happened in this parable. The healing took place on what day?
Sabbath.
On the Sabbath. Now on the Sabbath, the Lord says, no work. No work. Right? Now there's man's law and there's God's law. There's principle, right? So we stand in the principle of the law with a capital L. But man loves to make up laws to try to trip you up, right? So the man got healed on the Sabbath day. And the people around him was like, you done broke the law. Who healed you? Who did it? Who broke the law? You cannot carry your quilt on the Sabbath day. And the man said, I don't know who did it. He just know he healed. Right? On the Sabbath. On a day where nothing is supposed to be happening. And so we get into our notion that things are supposed to happen in a certain time, in a certain way, even on a certain day. And if it doesn't, it wasn't meant to be. If it doesn't, then I guess it's not my purpose. If it doesn't, what is wrong with me? Healing happens, period. Divine, what do we believe? We talk about it all the time. Divine right order. Divine right timing. So it doesn't matter that it was on a Sabbath day, because all things are working together in divine right order, in divine right timing, for our highest good. Now imagine if that man said, when Jesus said to him, carry your quilt, get up, carry your quilt, you are healed. And the man said, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, about that. It's Sabbath, so yeah, can't do that. What does that sound like?
Fine.
But, because but is clever. But comes in a lot of disguises. Yes?
Yeah.
So we have to be on alert for this but. So there is no time where the law is not in action. There is no time where God is not at work in our lives. There is not a time that we are not whole. There is not a time that we are not whole. So rise, take up your quilt and walk. And the man was healed immediately, regardless of the fact that it was on the Sabbath. So what do you believe? If that man believed that he can't be healed on the Sabbath, first of all, sidebar, why would the angel come on the Sabbath day? Right? There's some, okay. I was that kid in Sunday school. Excuse me. Why would the angel come? If nobody's supposed to work, why was the angel working? I was that kid. But it doesn't matter. It is what we believe. So if we believe it's not going to work, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. So it's more important to be in the consciousness of wholeness from a place of belief. Do you believe you are whole? Do you believe it? You're mighty quiet. Just saying. Because when it comes to healing, you have to know. You have to trust that you are healed. I love when I became a licensed practitioner. Because part of the training is knowing that the person is whole. Knowing the truth about them, no matter what their story is. And I'm telling you, when people come for prayer, they come with their stories. Can I get an amen, Kristen? Jan? Yes. But we know Jesus knew. So we can't act like we don't know when we know. And once you know, you cannot not know. That's just the way it works. You cannot not know when you know. So we know that we are whole. So let us stop behaving like we don't know. Let us stop behaving like we don't know that we are sourced by the source. No matter what our bank account says, no matter what, we are sourced by the source. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And guess what? The other part of that parable is Jesus sees the man again later on in the temple, right? And what does Jesus say to him? I think this might be my favorite part. Besides the fact that the man was there for 38 years. Like, he come and scooch. Like, every year, like, scooch up a little bit. All right. After a while, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "Behold, you are healed. Do not sin again, for something worse might happen to you than at first." Basically, Jesus is just telling him, remember you are whole. Remember you are healed. We get a resolution. We get an answer for a prayer, right? We've been praying this prayer. The prayer is answered. We feel like, okay, the prayer is answered. Now I could go forth and ... But sometimes the prayer is answered and we keep praying for the same prayer. But it's been answered. It's already been answered. You already been healed. Why are you still talking about your back hurt? You was already healed. Remember. So when we talk about sin, our teachings are sin is separation, right? Sin is simply separation. It is an error in thinking. So just the minute Jesus just telling the man, remember, because the human condition is such that you will forget. And something worse might happen. Jesus liked doing stuff like that. Yeah, you know, something worse might happen to you. Right? So we have to remember who we are. We have to remember that we are whole. And we need people around us to remind us that we are. Because some of us have people around us who remind us of the but. I only know people who are going to remind me of any buts. I need people around me who are going to remind me of wholeness. That anything is possible. I just thought about yesterday, Sekou. When I talk about people, having people around you who are going to remind you that you are whole, right? You don't want people around you who are going to come up to you while you're sitting by the pool for 38 years and sit down next to you. And be like, yeah, boy, I've been trying to get in that pool for 50 years and it ain't happened yet. And you know why? Because she hurt me. You know why? Because I don't have this degree. We don't need those people around us. Bless them from afar. Pray for them, but you don't need them in your ear. So I'm gonna give you a really quick example. I hope Sekou doesn't mind.
Go ahead.
So yesterday, Sekou texted me. He's like, "What you doing?" And I was out. He just said, "He's a shoot." And I was out doing a 10K. It was beautiful yesterday. Sekou hits me back. He goes, a picture of him in the bed with the covers over his head, right? Now, Sekou has made a commitment to himself that he will walk every day, at least a mile, for 410 days. That's the goal that he has set for himself. Because last year on the 409th day, of him walking every day, running every day for at least a mile, he had a stroke. So he hits me up, what you doing? I'm out doing a 10K because of him. And he hits me back, he underneath the covers. He don't think he gonna do his walk today.
Nope.
And he had his butts, right? Yeah, I need to do my run, but yeah, you know, it's day
35.
day 335, but that's right. No, we ain't having it. I was not having it. And boy, I didn't even text him back. I sent him a voice message. I said, boy, if you don't get up out of that bed and go for your walk today, I'm gonna have to come get you. These are the people that we need to have in our lives. The people who inspire us to do a 10K. A 10K. The people when we say, yes, I want to write a book. Yes, I want to, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You want those people who are going to remind you to remember that you are whole. No matter what your butt is, get your butt up. So we need each other for that. Let us take inventory, not to make anybody wrong. It's not about making anybody wrong. We're not comparing ourselves to anybody. Everybody is whole. And you get to choose the energy that is going to support you in living from a place of wholeness. Because I tell you, it is a drain. It is a drain on your energy to be around the energy of but. This world, turn on the news. If they had a translation, it'll be one big but. But news. We have to remember, because we forget. And it's okay. Because the more we practice remembering, the time that goes by lessens in the forgetting. We remember quicker. Wait a minute, how did I get in Buttville? Let me remember again who I am. And rise up, pick up my quilt, and be healed. Know that I am whole. Yes? Yes. I love what the poet Hafiz says. He says, my name is not complete without yours. I am made whole by your life. Each soul completes me. That's what God says about each and every one of us. Each soul completes me. We are an expression of that divine, of that infinite beingness that is whole. And if it is whole, then we are whole. That is what we believe. We unify with that, the oneness. God is one, I am one. God and I are one. And that is only wholeness. It's only love. It's only joy. It's only peace. It's only harmony. You know what's not in there? buts. There's no buts in that. There's no space between you and God for but. Because God is closer than our very breath. There's no space. No space unless we create the space. So who's tired of waiting around like the man waiting for 38 years to be healed? Who's tired of waiting around? Yes, Cheryl. Who's tired? Yes, Susie. It's time for us to rise up and know the truth of who and whose we are and not just talk about it. We have to be it. And we get to be it for each other also. Yes? So I want to share in closing 5 things, 5 little steps that you can practice to live, to remind you to live as wholeness. So the first one is, I gotta do this with attitude, Melissa. Hold on. You better trust and believe. You better trust and believe that you are whole. If you got to get in the mirror and say to yourself, say, Chris, let me tell you something, girl. You better trust and believe you are whole. 2, rebuke the excuse. Rebuke it. It's a lie. It's a big old lie. Rebuke means to beat back, to beat it back. I love the visual of that. So when those butts start inching up, beat it back. No excuses. There's no excuses to accepting and being willing to be whole. No excuses. So we rebuke it. Practice remembering wholeness. I love practice. And something that I say on my show is practice makes progress. Take a baby step, right? Take a baby step. Yesterday, the story I shared, the other part of that is I belong to a walking group. And yesterday they canceled the walk because they thought it was going to rain. So they canceled the walk. So the first thing that goes through my mind is, I guess I won't go then, right? I was going to go, but they canceled the walk. And then I remembered why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I love my body. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to be a part of a group. It's great support. But I'm doing it because I love my body. It's a way for me to demonstrate my wholeness, right? So we get to practice remembering our wholeness when stuff comes up. Say, cool, got to come up from out under the covers. That's one baby step, right? Come out from under the covers. Baby step number 2, put your sneakers on. Step number 3, get out the door, right? And then once we're out there, guess what? We're in it. We are in it. Who has had that experience? You talk yourself out of it, then you talk yourself in it, and then you're in it, and it's like, what was I thinking? This is cool. Right? Day 336, done. So practice remembering your wholeness. And Ernest Holmes puts it this way. If one would take time, once a day at least, to let go of all that is not true and lay hold of reality with a capital R. Let go of doubt, distrust, worry, condemnation, and fear, and lay hold of life in its expression of beauty, truth, and wholeness. Their mental congestion would be healed. If one would take the time, it doesn't take a lot of time, y'all. Take a breath. How long did that take? Seconds. We get to remember by practicing. And then the last one is treat and move your feet. Right? We're all familiar with that in New Thought. Ernest Holmes says, treat and move your feet. So you pray and you take action. Pray and take action. It is not just in the prayer, it's also in the activity of the prayer. You activate the prayer through your action. So let us stop waiting and let's start trusting our process by taking action. So I'm going to ask one more time. Are you willing to embrace your wholeness now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So if you're ready, stand up. All right. Everyone's here standing up. You're standing up on Zoom. You're standing up on Facebook. All right. Repeat after me. I am embracing my wholeness now.
I am embracing my wholeness now.
I am whole.
I am whole.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.